All right, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we are at the end of the week, and Kevin Hawk has returned. We are
Thomas Wolfe has not.
Yes.
He's Comic-Conning.
Well, he thinks that Wrestlemania is in Seattle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he think this is like 11 years ago?
Yeah, he said he said on Monday, he said, "Hey, I'm going to Seattle. I'm going to WrestleMania."
Safeco Field that doesn't exist anymore.
I don't know. But yeah, we are we are mere hours away from leaving.
Why's he going so early?
He wants to beat the crowd.
We're going. We're not even heading out yet.
Yeah. No, we are mere hours away from going to WrestleMania. We are just
we're less than 12 hours from being en route to WrestleMania.
Yep. But as promised, Kevin Hawk is here, and he's going to give a little recap on all the stuff that we talked about earlier in the week, and he's going to give his opinions on said stories. Take it away, Kevin Hawk.
All right, Raw.
Raw review.
Raw was fun.
Style.
Raw was fun. I liked it. Basically, I want to keep it short and sweet. Don't want to drag it out too long, so I want to go over just like the main parts that I liked. Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Can that not ever be awesome? No.
Especially with Dean Ambrose as a special guest referee.
Dean Ambrose being special guest referee. Only regret, I wish Luke Harper would have been the special guest referee. Because I want to see the giant swamp monster alien man obsessed with eyeballs be the special guest referee.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Opening with Sting's promo. Really, really well done. Might have been my favorite segment of the night. Which is cool when Raw opens up with a promo, and it's not just a dumb promo or a promo that leads into the main event, but like a really powerful, this was the go-home moment for Sting Triple H.
Yeah, I like the fact that Sting addressed that he's not fighting for WCW because that would be stupid. He's fighting strictly to take Triple H down.
Yeah. So, curious what'll happen if Sting wins. Will he actually take Triple H down? Who knows? The whole Stephanie interference run in there, basically calling Sting out on bullshit and then trying to slap him. But he catches it and they go back to that Triple H line. Nothing, with the exception of his wife and kids, means more to him than the WWE. Yeah. So as soon as Sting even touched Stephanie, Triple H was like bolting to the ring. Again, though, the bat versus the sledgehammer, I'm still curious on how the bat keeps winning out over the sledgehammer.
I thought about it too. I think it's because you can swing the bat faster than you can the sledgehammer.
That's true. I also think, though, like, Triple H...
He's had some practice.
Yeah, and like, no offense to Sting, but I think Triple H might have a little bit more current upper body power than Sting.
We'll have to wait till Sunday to see what Sting actually looks like underneath that t-shirt.
I don't think we will.
Do you think he's wrestling with the t-shirt on? Alright.
I honestly do.
We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
He did that a lot in TNA. Wrestled with Colt.
I just had a WrestleMania flash, so we're going to see fucking Sting at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think we're going to see Sting Cone t-shirt, much like if you watched AAA or Lucha Underground. Alberto Del Rio wears a t-shirt when he wrestles. Most of the time.
He took it off like once in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he does. I think because Ring of Honor probably asks him specifically to take the t-shirt off.
Huh.
Would be my guess.
Maybe.
And Bray Wyatt's promo, basically claiming that he's stealing the powers from the Undertaker, and like it builds throughout the promo how like the lights start flickering and like thunder sound effects start playing and stuff, and then like by the end of his promo, it's going nuts.
Yeah. Well, the coolest thing about that was he actually mentioned, because the crowd starts to really waver. They're like, "Oh man, here comes the Undertaker," and then he like flips it and goes, "See, you all expect that, but this is mine now."
Yeah. So I like that whole idea that he's like, "Hey, now that I'm becoming the new creepy guy, I'm also getting the cool creepy abilities to freak everyone out." So yeah, that was cool. I guess we got exactly what you were asking for. No Taker until Mania.
Yep. I think not only does it make WrestleMania more special, but it's also a great marketing for the WWE. It's like, hey, if you want to see The Undertaker, subscribe to the network.
Yeah. Or pay $65.
Yeah, or pay $65. You have to pay to see The Undertaker, and that's smart business by the WWE.
Yeah. Orton versus Seth Rollins with J&J Security. Really well done. But no surprises.
Nah.
And then the whole Wifey and AJ Bella's storyline continuation. I thought the way they went with this was really interesting. Having Nikki Bella say, hey, you guys can have a title shot, but you have to pick between the two of you who gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's definitely a way of the Bellas trying to cause dissension between the two of them. Like, initially they just like say, hey, we want them to fight over who gets the title shot.
Yeah.
I think that really didn't work because they really didn't fight over it, and it was more so AJ just like, oh yeah, Paige can have the title shot.
But then the fight came during the match.
Yeah, AJ inadvertently smacked my wife, Paige.
Punk Wifey slapped Hawk Wifey.
Phil, we're gonna have a talk. This was the first time also watching this was the first time that I kind of like in my head I started thinking, do you think Punk's gonna be at Mania to watch his wife?
Probably not.
And if so, like how awkward is that gonna be for everyone?
He's just
involved?
walking around backstage, everyone's like, hey, Phil? What?
Yeah, no, like seriously, like no, I think
does Vince know he's in the building?
I think he's gonna be in the crowd. Like, he'll be somewhere in the audience with, like, Colt and Cliff just hanging out.
The new Second City Saints.
Maybe the big LG can hang out with them, too.
That'd be awesome.
But, yeah, so they cause dissension. AJ accidentally hits Paige. They start getting into it real hot and heavy. But we decide, maybe by SmackDown they can clear things up and be on the same page. Because, to be honest, like I said in the predictions, the Bellas are twins, which make them a notch above, harder to beat than a normal tag team.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a sibling tag team, because you've been tag team since birth. So they need to definitely be a cohesive unit if they even want to stand a chance to beat the Bella twins.
They tag team their way out of the womb.
Probably not. But nice try.
Nice. Alright.
So that's my thoughts on Raw.
What about the ladder match build?
Yeah.
It
was cool.
We had the tag team match early.
Yeah, it was cool.
With Truth and Ambrose.
The tag team match really didn't keep my attention all that strong. It was good to see R-Truth working though,
and getting the win.
Having not been prominently featured physically during this whole storyline. So neat to see him in the ring and doing shit. And then the bit at the end towards the end of the show, when they did the match, and then Ambrose tries to climb the ladder after the Ziggler-Bryan match, and then you got the run, and basically all four other guys ran in simultaneously, and everyone brawls, and then creatively, I didn't really catch this until the very, very end of it, that no one got the last laugh here.
Yeah. The ladder got the last laugh because it fell on Luke Harper.
Yeah, so I'm hoping no one got hurt during that bit. I was trying to think, because it seemed like there was 2 times where somebody looked like they got hurt. One of them is not the right thing. That'll come later on SmackDown. But, yeah, no, Luke Harper with the ladder hitting him in the leg definitely didn't look comfortable.
Probably not. Okay, and then to finish it off, you have to give your thoughts on the epic face-off at the end of Raw. okay. Say the first thing that comes to your mind. Do it, Hawk. They're waiting. They're waiting with bated breath.
I'm sorry. Heyman was good. Heyman was good.
Heyman's always good.
Roman was like definitely intense. And he grabbed the belt from Brock and said, "Nope, it's mine now. You can't have it. No take backsies." And Brock wanted it back really bad. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. All I can think of is just astrally projecting an image for the viewers.
Oh, alright, yeah. I
Got that?
That's, yeah.
It's about the gist of it, right?
Yeah. Makes the most sense.
That's, yeah, I was trying to avoid the end there. That's...
You can't avoid something like that.
No, there's like 900 memes that came after that. You know, it's okay though.
Yeah.
Because I'm more concerned with the dude who left One Direction.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Was it
I don't know his fucking name.
Zayn?
Sami Zayn?
No. I think his name is Zayn. One of the One Direction guys left. I'm more concerned about that than I am with Brock Lesnar getting his belt back. Yeah.
Alright, well. Kevin Hawk's thoughts on Raw.
The other story that I know you guys went over was the passing of Perro Aguayo Jr.
I want to apologize for my pronunciation on his name. It's Perro Aguayo.
Not Aguayo.
Aguayo. I apologize, but I will not apologize for anything else that I said in the video.
Yeah, I mean, Pedro Ramirez, his real name, fantastic wrestler. This marked his 20th year being an athlete. You know, he was 35 years old. He started wrestling when he was 15. His dad was a huge star. You know, to the point where you can like go on the WWE Network. You can find Perro Aguayo on the WWE Network, 6-man tag at the Royal Rumble '97. Specifically, I'll give you right that. That's the very first time I heard the Aguayo name, which is cool. One of the things that was I really appreciated from Pedro or Perro Aguayo is his ability to be so over with the audience. He was a big time heel, but I find it's much in the way of like when Dolph Ziggler is heel or Randy Orton as a heel. He's a very charismatic heel that really draws the fans in, and like he, you know, despite the fact that he's a heel, he gets cheered.
Yeah.
You know, and he was super talented. You know, he won the Rey de Reyes in 2012. He won last year's Copa Mania at Triple Mania. He's a 3-time tag team champion in AAA. He was a Atomicos champion in AAA. He was a Trios champion in CMLL. And, you know, was known all over the place. Started the stable Perro Zamal, which ended up turning into a mini promotion at one point.
Really?
Yeah. And that got really, really big, and you know that's after he left AAA. He started that stable in CMLL, and then when he came back to AAA, he brought his stable over as part of an invasion angle. Really clever. Yeah, but definitely super tragic. Because definitely a life cut way too short. And still in his prime, you know.
He was only 35. That's.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times too, when you think of a wrestler and say, "Oh, well, he's been wrestling for 20 years," you think, "Oh, well, he's getting up there. He's getting, you know, he's getting there."
Yeah.
Because most wrestlers start when they're 24, 25 years old when they hit the big time, you know.
Yeah.
But he started at 15 years old. You know, he was still 35 years old. He had a lot of time left to go. But it's one of those things. Gary the Barn Owl, posted on Facebook earlier today that it was, I feel like it was directly related to this news, but he didn't say it that it was. But his status that he posted on Facebook was, I think people forget that you can get hurt in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's sort of a thing, because a lot of people who watch WWE, when somebody gets injured in WWE keeps them relevant in other ways. A lot of the times, keeping them on screen, cutting promos, doing commentary, stuff like that. And a lot of guys in companies like WWE and TNA and Ring of Honor, these guys rush themselves back from injuries really, really fast. So I think we get desensitized to people getting hurt because it happens often, but they always come back quickly in most cases. So, it's that thing that it kind of draws it back into reality that every time you step through the ropes, it's like you're signing that waiver saying that, yes, something potentially life-threatening or, threatening to my well-being could happen at any moment between bell to bell. It's to the point where you could have a freak accident where you, getting out of the ring, you could get your foot caught on the bottom rope and fall off the apron and break your head open on the ground. It's that kind of a thing. It was a freak accident. It was a drop kick to set him up for the 619. How many of thousands of drop kicks have you seen? How many times have you seen somebody drop onto the top or middle rope like that? It's two extremely common things. I don't know really what played into it, whether it be, velocity, force, did he have perhaps maybe an undiagnosed previous injury? This could have been something that went from a small stress fracture to a full-blown, cervical breakage. Basically, yes, it happened in a match, live, in front of a big audience, but in no way is anyone who was there to blame. I know I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but everyone really needs to step back and read what you're posting before you post it on YouTube and on Twitter and on Facebook, especially things directed to guys who were involved, Manic, Extreme Tiger, Rey Mysterio Jr., Conan, just a lot of disrespectful things being said. The majority of them being directed directly towards Rey Mysterio Jr. It's a problem, but no matter how much we emphasize that it shouldn't happen, there's always going to be the ignorant assholes who do it anyways. Basically using someone else's tragedy to try and benefit themselves and make themselves sound like they're tough or, like they know what the fuck they're talking about. But in a case this extreme, that shouldn't be the case. Rather than, saying, oh, Ray killed him, or hey, it was irresponsible of Conan to shake him around, or hey, AAA should have had better medical staff instead of sticking on a piece of plyboard. Stop getting mad and send your condolences to his family. He's got a dad, he's got a brother, he's got cousins who wrestle, and everyone else in AAA, he was basically looked as one of those figureheads in the locker room. I think of it as like in the same way. This is to AAA as if like John Cena were to get killed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He's one of the top most respected guys in the company. So rather than be angry, pay your respects. Post a cool thing that you thought he did. Post a link to your favorite match that you can find on YouTube or something, it's kind of mind-boggling when something like that happens. So that's my thoughts. My deepest sympathies and condolences go out to his family, especially Perro Aguayo Jr. and the AAA organization as a whole. It's a tragic thing, and in so many instances in wrestling, injuries could have been prevented in a lot of ways. You see a lot of unnecessary risks taken, or a lot of guys who work hurt and it just compounds their injury. So you gotta think like probably 9 out of every 10 injuries in wrestling could be totally avoided by either, choosing a safer route or deciding to heal up your injuries. But there's always that, 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 100 that is a freak thing that no one had any control over. Unfortunately, this is one of those things. There's nothing anyone could have done about it. And that kind of should get everyone off of everyone else's back, knowing that it was basically per se fate that this happened. All I can hope is that as a unit, AAA grows stronger and more tight-knit and closer. You saw that a lot. If people have been diehard WWE fans over the years, when Owen Hart passed away, when Eddie Guerrero passed away, you had really solid moments of unity. It happens in any locker room when you lose somebody. It happens everywhere in life, with families, with your workplace, with your friends. So basically, my hopes is that everyone can move on from this situation, doing their best to honor his memory and his legacy. And rest in power.